Hey everyone, normally I'd show gameplay during the intro, but since YouTube cucked my last video for showing violence at the beginning, we're going to avoid doing that for now. If you wish to skip to the run, then click on the timestamp currently on your screen. You all read the title, so you should already know that we're becoming the first person to beat Dying Light the Beast without weapons. I did this challenge on day 1, so all the gameplay you're about to see is my first experience with this game, and since I hate myself, I played it on the game's hardest difficulty. Without further ado, let's get right into this video. The game opens with us learning about Kyle's tragic backstory and the torture he sustained. But let's be real, he's in pain because of that damn phone. And then we're introduced to the big bad of this game.
Wakey, wakey, hands off Snakey. It's me, Craig, the main villain. You can tell because I'm British and wearing a turtleneck. I hope you're finally getting used to it here, Crane, because this place is totally inescapable.
Sir, something's happening that'll make this place totally escapable.
I then crawl over to the radio on the floor because these look like the perfect conditions to order DoorDash. On the other end was a girl named Olivia, who said she was here to help me. She told me to crawl towards a vent to escape, and of course I listened to her, because all free thinking ceases when Eastern European lady tells me to do something. I then played some Half-Life before trying to stand up, but failing miserably.
You haven't been fat in over 13 years, Green. Take some from the counter and inject yourself. This will help you regain strength.
Wow, she was right. Apparently drugs are good for you, and I haven't even gained an addiction. I just need to find more of this stuff because it helps me. Luckily, Olivia knows how to get more, so I need to escape this place and find her. I enter a room where I find my first victim. You're probably supposed to walk around him, but I'm a New Yorker, so I can never pass up the opportunity to assault somebody. I made my way to the next room, which had more punching bags. Now is a good time to mention that kicks do use up stamina in this game, so I won't be able to infinitely kick like in Dying Light 1. Guess that's what happens when you skip 13 years worth of leg days. You'll see my first use of strategy here, that being shining the UV light at the zombies to stun them and then giving them the Waffle House special.
Kyle, do you see that vent on the floor? Have you heard of Among Us, Craig? I need you to vent. I know it will be hard for you to be sad, but I know you can do it.
I then found myself in a room filled with distracted infected. Normally, I would start punching away. However, my levels are too low, so I'm not strong enough to take on this many dudes. Unless we're not talking about fight. After playing some Metal Gear Solid, I made it to the Cincinnati Zoo and saw the residents of Ohio. 2 broke out of containment, and the game gave me a metal pipe. But this run isn't about laying pipe, it's about fisting, so I made sure to satisfy these men to the best of my abilities. I continued on my leisurely stroll until I was stopped by the elevator. Olivia claimed she could manually override the elevator, which has the downside of releasing every single homeless person currently in containment. When their doors opened, they all immediately smelled the drugs coursing through my bloodstream and wanted a hit. I thought I was done for, but the gallons of White Monster energy I drank hours prior finally hit my heart, and I entered beast mode. It's really fun and engaging, especially since it lets you get ahead in the game. You'll hear more about this feature later though, because now it's time to enter the elevator, which immediately stalled, leading us into the first parkour segment of the game. By using these perfectly placed platforms for someone to climb on, and after venting one more time, I needed to go on a leisurely stroll through this hallway and leave the facility. Yeah, I react the same way whenever I go outside. Obviously I'm kidding though, because I never go outside. Olivia watched one of my videos and told me that I needed Jesus, so now I'm on the search for a church. On my way to the church, I tapped into my inner Yogi Bear and devised a never-before-seen plan on how to take a local's picnic basket. I continued down the mountain and took in the scenic beauty of this game. On an unrelated note, do you guys also hear the sounds of a Boeing 747? I eventually made it to the church, but a bunch of zombies were blocking the doorway, so I asked myself, what would Jesus do? And the obvious answer was to cure them of their ailments. As you may have guessed, the only way I know how to fix these people is through incredible violence. After lobotomizing these guys to the intelligence level of a game journalist, I checked the doors. Of course the doors were locked, so I needed to engage in this game's parkour mechanic. Once inside, we can get lost on where we're supposed to go. Like, seriously, I have no clue how I'm supposed to get down. I jumped onto this gas tank thingy, but I genuinely don't think I'm supposed to get down this way. Moving on, I entered into the church and immediately started beating up these homeless people who were yapping about some squatters' rights or something. Yeah, why don't you squat on this dick? I then started the first generator and beat up some more innocent people before restoring the power.
Crane? Oh, then run the movie first.
Sorry, loss of habits.
What do you want from me anyways?
I want you to kill the Baron.
Oh cool, that's what I want too.
Yeah, but you're not strong enough. For some unknown reason, the Baron went mad and released a bunch of super buffed out homeless people onto the streets.
And how is that my problem?
You need to beat them up and steal their family. It's the only way you'll get stronger.
And you're sure I won't get addicted to this stuff?
Crane, you literally could not stand up until you hit. You're already an addict.
No, I'm not. I've taken it every day and still haven't gotten addicted.
Whatever you say. Here, take this.
But this is a no weapons run.
What? Weapon? No, that's a sounding rod.
After that delightful conversation, I encountered the Reaper, my first boss fight of the run. Unlike me, he isn't really hard. But that's okay, because he's the first chimera you encounter. You just have to be the master at baiting, masturbator, if you will, to trick him into swinging so you can get some punches in. I think you all know what time it is. Oh man, need fat.
Damn it, this is a horse tranquilizer.
Just give it to me, damn it! Olivia then told me to go to the center of town to find some allies. We're gonna need these allies for later when we kill the Baron. Welcome to the first location of this game, Laggy Town. I call it that because this is the only region where the game runs slower than a paraplegic turtle. I ended up getting a rather distressing radio call.
I'm over here stroking my dick.
So I went over to Town Hall and saw that it was flooded with the homeless. Of course, I pulled out Mr. Problem and Mr. Solver. That's the name of my fist, by the way. This was my first encounter with a large horde of zombies, but I swear, I was straight up gaming here. I utilized the UV light to blind the zombies, essentially stunning them in place for a few seconds. I'd then run up to the closest guy and start pounding on him. I'd continue this process until the takedown prompt appeared, allowing me to finish off the zombie. About halfway through the crowd, my Mr. Beast Feastable bar filled up, and I shredded these zombies like a certain body part of mine after dropping the soap in prison. After massacring the undead, the next homeless man revealed himself. He seemed pretty strong, but I knew he was no match for the Cranester. I just gotta make sure I don't get backhanded though. Well, that was fun. Yoink! Free fit. I proceeded to meet up with the survivors at the town hall, who told me that their sheriff was currently on the roof trying to reset the power. Since I'm practically a saint, I decided to climb to the roof and help her.
Hands up, or I'll shoot. Oh, never mind, you're white.
The fuck?
Nothing. I just need you to climb down there and reset the power.
Alright, and you won't shoot me?
No promises.
I then took the zip line down to the building below. Seriously bro, ain't nobody falling for that. After successfully dispatching the mortally challenged, I can lag my way through the lockpicking tutorial. Then, I just grab this cable and do some super epic sweet hardcore parkour up to the top of the tower and plug it in.
Wow, I don't know a white boy could jump.
What is actually wrong with you?
I'm from Texas. Used to shoot protesters in Dallas.
Is that why they call you the sheriff?
That, and the fact that I kick butt. Meet the rest of the crew.
So what do you do around here?
I'm actually a whistleblower for the Boeing company.
That sounds neat.
My trial's tomorrow.
And before you ask, no, Jacob does not have a voice actor for this video because I have no black friends. He told me about some souped up infected, which I needed to hunt down and kill. So I took to the streets and discovered a guy doing his best Darth Maul impression. By following the blood trails, I can track all the places where the beast had been. That was until I heard the sounds of the Krusty Krab bombing and decided to investigate. As we all know, I'm really good at video games, so I immediately started getting chased by volatiles. I did everything I could to dodge and weave these mutant beasts until I eventually found the exploded truck, which luckily had a UV flare, saving me from cock and ball disaster. I looted someone's dead corpse and then took off for a church. Obviously, I got spotted by volatiles again, but unfortunately, I got stuck by this game's glitchy terrain and was killed. After that fumble, I made my way back to the church with my entourage of volatiles. I went into the basement, but was once again juked as I needed to go to the tunnels on the outskirts of town. Skipping forward a bit, I ended up at the tunnels. I made my way through the tunnels, and this zombie almost threw my entire run as a goon was literally right there. Luckily, I made it to the destination and was face to face with no way! Is that Mr. Beast? Although he got away, I knew it was him, but before I could get all excited and tell everyone about meeting a real-life supervillain, a volatile spotted me, and it was time for a chase. As you all know, I've gained some experience at this, and could easily make it out of the tunnel before they could bore my tunnel, if you get what I mean. I started on my way back to Olivia, parkouring to the beautiful scenic countryside. Once again, does anyone else hear a Cessna, or is that just me?
I've been doing some scouting, and I think I found the next homeless person for you to beat up.
Alright, where is it?
Should be right here, at the small island called Tahiti.
Holy shit, guys! I'm going to Tahiti! I freaking love Tahiti! Guys? I don't think I made it to Tahiti. I swam over to Boofpack Island, where someone ripped a cloud I haven't seen since my senior year in high school. Upon further investigation, I came face to face with the next homeless person of the run, Mist. Now, I'm not gonna lie, Mist was kind of hard. Her quick mobility made it difficult to keep up and hit her. Not to mention, her small hitbox basically made it impossible to land consistent punches. And this fog also made it impossible to track her. It reminds me of a certain fight from Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. However, this didn't deter me from finding a strategy to beat up this woman like John Lennon. Introducing the dropkick, aka the thing I literally just got with my survivor level up. All I have to do is wait for her to do whatever this is, and then run up to her and drop kick, and possibly even give her a little love tap for good measure. As you can see, her health bar barely declines from this combo, and I have to wait for her to attack me to even get some hits in. Safe to say, this fight's going to be a long one. More Fent. Jackpot! After my Fent lean, I encountered a bandit patrol and decided to steal their car. However, my fun didn't last long because my car broke down, probably from how damn bumpy this road was. When I got back to the town hall, the sheriff wanted to have a word with me.
Brain, I need you to go to the power plant and reset the power.
What? Why?
Because if the power's off, we risk a visit from Freddy Fazbear. And Fab Fred Fazbear ain't gonna play around when he finds us.
I'm not even an electrical mechanic. I don't even know where to start.
You can start by digging in your butt, Swin.
After such an intellectual conversation, I made my way over to the power plant without any complications whatsoever. When I finally got to the power plant, I ran around like an idiot for 20 minutes trying to figure out how to get in. Once I actually found the entrance, I got to speak to a Discord mod.
Hold on, kitten. Someone needs a daddy.
It smells terrible in here.
Don't disrespect me. That's your first warn.
What? Never mind. I need to get the power up and running.
That's not happening. Trust me, the grid's shorted.
How did that happen?
Let's just say my dark side took over. You wouldn't even understand.
God, oh fuck. I can breathe again. Ugh. I made my way to the inside of the main facility and accidentally woke up this group of the undead. As you all know, I don't back down from a fight, so I started relentlessly beating them all to death. Once they were all adequately dealt with, I took all of their spare change. The first step to fixing the power grid was to identify the problem, which to my mother's surprise, isn't me. Rather, it were these holes blowing through the pipes, so I had to find some valves and turn them to redirect the water flow. Next, I needed to turn on the water, which was being blocked by 2 more zombies. I think we all know what happened next. Unfortunately, EduRoam Wi-Fi disconnected, so I needed to kill a whole group of zombies who were blocking this power cable so I could reconnect it. I've gotten really good at this UV light beatdown strat, and with the added bonus of the dropkick, these infected barely stand a chance anymore. I finally got the power cable and plugged it in, and all that was left was turning the water intake back on and meeting up with the Discord mod.
I'm impressed you managed to get the grid back online. But since you harassed me earlier, I contacted Discord support to terminate you.
Hands where I can see them!
After picking off the last of the Baron's men, I needed to make sure they didn't regain control of this facility. I had a small scuffle with the guys who barged out this door, but then I had to face off against the weakest man in Scotland. Strapped with a sledgehammer, this man is not afraid to add another hole into your body for some pleasure pounding. However, his weakness is that he moves slow. I found that running in and drop kicking him was the best approach to taking him down. After a little more beatdowns, he eventually fell. Last up was the encounter on the roof, where I utilized gravity to my advantage, and then relentlessly beat the shit out of this last guy. When I got back to the town hall, I spoke with the sheriff and asked her to send some people to spy on the Baron. I sure hope that nothing fishy comes out of this in the future. I then made my way over to a reported sighting of the Baron's men. As I approached the location, I found the World Trade Center, which implies that we are living in the best timeline, as the TSA doesn't exist. Oh, I also found what's left of the Baron's men. Inside this truck, I found an empty vape canister. Olivia told me that it must have come from the drug lab located downtown, so I needed to run over there and figure out what the Baron was doing with gas station blinkers. I then proceeded to dick off and secure the safe zone, which made me a very sleepy boy, so I decided to take a nap. It's only a miracle that this lead hasn't gone cold. When I made it to the factory, I climbed my way to the top and snuck around carefully to ensure I wasn't spotted. Slowly but surely, I started to stealth around and take out each guard. However, I absolutely fumbled this next play and got exactly what I deserved. On my next attempt, I found a way up that wasn't as stealthy, but allowed me to show these guys my favorite season: fall. You'd think after watching all of your friends get flung like a ragdoll, you wouldn't just stand next in line. Going through this door led me to the mid encounter. I call it that because it was annoying and kind of mid. The arena contained one gunman and a few melee fighters. Obviously, the gunman poses the most threat to me since I can't exactly shoot back, so my strategy always revolved around killing the gunman first. I found that flinging his body onto this railing would consistently kill him, and now it's time to deal with these melee fighters. By using this gap in the railing, I can wait for them to run up on me and drop kick them down 3 floors. Unfortunately, more soldiers spawned, and much like JFK's assassination, there was a second shooter. My new plan was that after killing the first wave, I'd immediately try to find the shooter and drop kick him down. With the remaining men killed, I could finally continue further into the drug factory, where I came across Johnny Sins. Why is the Baron manufacturing mango watermelon vapes?
I don't fully know. He told us to stop making fent and make this instead.
But fentanyl is so much better.
That's what I'm saying. But it's intoxicating to the homeless. You hotbox a place, and they'll be there immediately.
My fent levels were running low, so I knew I needed to beat up another homeless person soon. Luckily, this vape stuff might be the key to luring them over to me. I went into the zombie-infested basement and stole some of the mango mist. I threw it into a car, but I'm guessing the beers I slammed earlier didn't help me because the car literally exploded. So I went into the basement, stole another can of vape, and then walked through the dead of night to the location. But before I could hotbox this place, the worst encounter in the game started. You might not think this encounter is hard, as it's only 2 soldiers with guns. But that's the problem. Both of them are soldiers with guns. Every single time I tried to take out one soldier, his friend would shoot all over my back. Due to the impossible odds of surviving this encounter, I decided to find a car so I could just run them over like my stupid son when I'm on my way to the casino. Although I found a car, it didn't really end well. Not to worry though, because I found a second car, which also didn't make it very far. Uber should hire me. After waiting for it to become day, I finally was able to steal a car without being assaulted for crack money. The only problem with my genius plan is that there's no way to get the car inside of the arena, so I basically just wasted all of this time when I could have been grinding attempts. Hey, fun fact, when you land the impossible odds of being able to kill one of the soldiers, 2 melee fighters show up too. So not only do you have a guy shooting at you, but there's now 2 other guys pounding you from behind. Did you know I'm not exactly having fun anymore? After being thoroughly Eiffel Towered by these 4 men, I was able to clear out all of the soldiers and I could finally rip a fat cloud like a high school freshman, attracting the next homeless man. Ah, sweet, more fentanyl. Oh god. This shit's laced! Olivia, I need to stop taking the homeless's fent.
But Crane, you're not strong enough yet to outsmoke the Baron.
The last batch was laced. Maybe I just stick to shrooms for now.
Pussy.
What?
You heard me. You're a pussy. The cool kids all do fent these days. Don't you want to be cool, Kyle?
God damn it, this is just like high school. I can't go back to being a loser again. Find me more fent. I'll be in touch. After becoming a victim of peer pressure, the sheriff told me she spotted the Baron giving shaft. So I left somebody to die so I could be the next in line. However, I think I might have misheard her because the entire mountain I just climbed only led me to the entrance of a mine shaft. So what's going on?
When I got here, I saw the Baron hotboxing that mine. You want to know what I think of the folks who use them drugs?
Not in the slightest.
I think they're all
12 seconds later.
Yeah, I think I'm done here. It seemed like I was in for another stealth section, so my plan was to sneak around and take out the station gunmen. I was able to pull off my first 2 takedowns, but was spotted and abruptly introduced to God. Good news, guys. For some reason, this is the only encounter in the entire game where the enemies don't respawn after you die. I have no clue why this happens, but now I just need to lock in my inner Doctor Strange by resetting the timeline and slowly killing off each soldier one by one. Nothing interesting really happened here except for this Looney Tunes play where the guard walked over to me, so I hopped over a box to hide. I don't know how he couldn't notice me here. I was literally sniffing his crotch from in the bushes. Eventually, it was just me and 2 guys left, so I drop-kicked them into some spikes and could finally enter the mines. Inside the mines, I played it like Payday 2. I slowly snuck around and carefully planned every action so that guards wouldn't notice me. Slowly but surely, I was making my way through. Continuing through the tunnel led me to a section filled with zombies. Since there was kind of a problem on the other side, I didn't want to take any chances, so I killed every single last one of these zombies. I did this by funneling them and drop kicking them. Slowly but surely, they all took too much of a beating and died. I planned to use a similar strat with the next group of zombies, but I unfortunately died. I ended up at the beginning of the mine section again, losing me a huge chunk of progress. So I basically gave up on being sneaky and just decided to run past everything. It was working very well, and I even managed to get past a demolisher by using some firecrackers as a distraction. Now, I just dropped down and, hey guys, look, I'm here now. Nothing happened before. Ignore this. This is totally the first time I got to the segment. Opening up the next door revealed a room filled with the Baron's men. Honestly, it just took some sneaky maneuvering to slowly take down the Baron's men. Excuse me, let me just squeeze on past ya. Yep, thanks. Eventually, I killed all of the Baron's men and could finally find out what the Baron was up to. Sheriff, I'm in. Do you copy?
Hi, Crane. I'm in now. Sorry.
That's honestly not surprising.
Well, this is the part where he kills you.
Hello, Crane, and welcome to the part where I kill you.
Are you gonna tell me why you're giving out drugs to the homeless? What that thing is?
Jimmy Donaldson, Mr. Beast. You don't understand, Crane. Mr. Beast makes ludicrous amounts of money off the misfortune of others. Only problem is, what happens when that well of poverty dries up?
What the fuck are you on about?
Fentanyl is only good for so long, but we need a new drug to keep these people impoverished. I'm creating the future here, Kyle. I'm introducing blinkers to low-income neighborhoods.
Wait, you're a member of the CIA.
Yes, but now that you know, I need you dead.
Sheriff, do you copy? I live, bitch.
Crane? You survived the part where he kills you? Oh, shit.
Fueled with anger, hatred, and sexual arousement, I ran all the way back to the town hall to confront the sheriff. Unfortunately, when I got there, she wasn't around. Jacob told me he didn't know about the sheriff's plan of betrayal and told me where to find some allies. Supposedly, these people were all former test subjects of the Baron, so we all share a common hatred for the man. I was told to meet them at a homestead, so I went over there while ignoring the sound of the speed bumps. The homestead was swarmed with the Baron's men, so I stole a car.
Dude, this car kicks ass, and I can watch Madagascar while I'm driving!
After turning this car into Irish independence, I died to a viral. I decided to just go through and be stealthy this next attempt. After scrambling around the homestead for 10 minutes, I finally found the last guy and dealt with him accordingly. With the soldiers dead, I headed into the farmhouse and met up with my contact. He told me his name was Sven and that the Baron got him and his entire neighborhood addicted to crack. He told me if I could find his friends and more crack, then he'd help me. I laggily made my way to the homestead where I had to beat up more infected. I eventually found some Adderall and a map of every important US road system which requires a pickaxe to extract the secret gold that the government is hiding from us. I eventually wound up at a pig slaughterhouse where I found the crack addicts I was looking for. However, an officer then asked me for my license and registration. I started off this combat encounter by drop-kicking this guy into spikes. Then, I dipped behind cover and waited for the gunman to slowly take their advance. Obviously, he learned nothing from the last combatant as he too ended up being penetrated. Unfortunately, the other gunman did not want to find out what a kebab was, so I beat the shit out of him. After shoving my face full of food, I could finally confront the last gunman who didn't even stand a chance. The only problem is that this wasn't the last gunman, and more of the Baron's men started to flood in. I actually managed to kill one of his guards, but my long game of Ring Around the Rosie ended with a Kurt Cobain POV. The next attempt spawned in a sledgehammer guy instead, so there really wasn't much pressure here. I almost didn't make it, but I was luckily able to pull through and fold him like a table. More of the Baron's men barged in, but I elected to ignore them by running past them and stealing their car. With a beer in one hand and rain bed on the other, I can live out the American dream of receiving a DUI and being assaulted by a police officer. Once I made it to the objective location, I found the addicts overdosing in the back seat because they snorted all of the spare crack. By ignoring the speed limit, I was able to get them back to the goon cave on time. However, since I didn't bring back any extra crack like I promised them earlier, they refused to help me fight the Baron. After that, there was another mission, but this mission is incredibly boring, so I'm gonna skip over it because this is my video and I can do what I want. The highlights include tapping into the Baron's radio waves, killing someone and stealing their iPhone, climbing the Laggy Town Tower, and disarming the bombs they planted at Ground Zero, just like on September 11th. Moving on, Olivia called me up and informed me of the whereabouts of another homeless man so I can get more fentanyl. Finally, it's been way too long since I've beaten up a person suffering from a severe deformation. What's going on?
I spotted another homeless man. Be careful though, his gum is acidic.
How do you know that?
Just go beat him up for me, Crane.
Yes, ma'am. Anything for you. Hey guys, welcome to Stonehenge, and what is possibly the worst boss fight in this entire game. I hated this boss so much, in fact, that he doesn't even deserve a montage. You might think my hatred for Toxin is unjustified, but believe me, he deserves to be beaten shitless, like those kids who remind the teacher of the homework. If you want to know why I hate him, then look no further than the fucking mosh pit of zombies he summons, which are somehow always in your fucking way. And if that wasn't bad enough, halfway through the fight, he summons the actual spawns of hell to rock your shit. What makes this enemy even worse is the fact that he spits toxins at you, which linger on the ground. This doesn't even mention the fact that this boss will basically off to another continent if you even manage to get close to him. So basically, everything I hate about boss fights is in this boss fight. Instead of a montage, I'm gonna take this time now to remind you that you are an amazing person and deserve all the love and respect this world has to offer for you. Right now, things may not be going your way, but I want to remind you that it won't always be this way. Tomorrow is another day, and it's another chance for you to start slowly recovering from whatever pain may have been inflicted upon you. I want you to know that it's okay to take breaks in life, and no one is going to think negatively of you for doing so. I wanted to remind you that you matter more than you realize. Right now, you could be someone halfway across the earth who decided to watch this video because you thought what I had to say was funny. And seriously, that means so much to me. My goal on YouTube was to provide entertainment and hopefully make someone's day at least a little bit more enjoyable. I hope I achieved this goal for you, and I hope I can continue to make you happy today. Anyways, let's get back to my suffering. I killed him. You want some fent?
Ew, no.
More for me then. So like, you wanna go get dinner or something?
Sorry, no, I have a boyfriend. I can set you up with someone now.
That'd be perfect. And that's how Crane ended up at a high school. Entering the school brought me into a dark zone filled with zombies. Since it was dark, there's literally no good footage I can use here, so we'll skip to me exiting the dark zone. Once I made it into the gym, there were bandits patrolling around. I tried to be sneaky stealthy and take down this guy, but it's basically impossible to stealth this section. So on my next attempt, I filled up my Mr. Beast bar before entering the school. Once I made it back into the gym, I proceeded to take out one guy before activating beast mode. Exploring the school further led me to encountering this guy. You don't look like a bandit.
I'm not. I'm a German scientist.
How is that important?
Do not ask who I worked for before NASA in the 1950s.
Yeah, I've had enough of this conversation. I'm killing it.
Wait, I could cook crack.
Actually, maybe you are useful. So I informed the crack addicts that I found someone who can manufacture the drug. All I needed to do now was go into the basement and clear out the infected so our ethically questionable German friend could get out. So, who's your favorite artist?
Kanye West.
I regret asking.
I'm just saying.
People say it's listeners, but I'm actually telling you right now, I wish it were. Going back inside the school and killing 2 more bandits led me to find the Discord chat logs of the Baron. To bring you up to speed on its contents, let's just say this shit reads like a Boondock script. Before I could make my great escape, a school shooting started, so I ran to the one place a kid is supposed to be safe these days, outside of school. Unfortunately, there was a group of bad guys anticipating my arrival. However, I had full beast mode. After killing a few guards, I made sure to bounce the hell out of there. Apparently, Dr. Camilo never made it back to the crack addict's goon cave, so I needed to find out what may have happened to him. I found the car crash, and my investigation concluded that it must have been a woman driver. Following the blood tracks led me to the house where Dr. Camilo most likely fled to. You already know how it is though, a little bit of parkour, killing some infected, and all of that basic stuff. What happened?
We were just driving, singing along to Ye's new single. Then all of a sudden, this girl merged into our lane without signaling.
Called it.
Here, take this.
What will I need this for? After such insightful commentary, Olivia called me and told me about the girl she was setting me up with. All I had to do was show up at an abandoned cement factory to meet her. What the fuck? This is the witch left for dead. Another one of those annoying enemies who has the fun mechanic of summoning virals, because nothing says boss fight like having something other than the boss be the main threat during the fight. I have to lock in and become the master at taking down virals. By beating up the virals, I can charge my beast mode, which allows me to deal significant damage to the crying woman. I will say, this fight was harder for me because I kept confusing her cries as the ones coming from my basement. Olivia, who the hell was that?
I don't really know. Just someone I met from club.
What kind of club?
Book club.
Oh shit, she was a book talk girl. Now I need to make my way across the entire goddamn map so I can talk to Dr. Camilo at the Goon Cave. Once I made it there, he had this to say.
I cannot cook crack without the corpses of discarded fetuses.
The fuck?
That's how all the good shit is made.
Yeah, right.
This is where you come in, Crane. I need you to go down to the abortion clinic and grab some stem cells. What else do you think politicians really want Planned Parenthood?
Following my somewhat questionable conversation with Dr. Camilo, I found my local Planned Parenthood and proceeded to break in. However, before I could make it to the main facility, I encountered Hillary Clinton in her true form. She was trying to get the stem cells before I could so that she could go back to her human presence. You see, this chimera is unlike all the others because it has the unique ability to go invisible. I gave it a few attempts, but it didn't go so well. So I decided to go back outside and beat up the homeless so I could make more medkits. I want to interject here and say that if you're finding this video funny, then you should like it and comment something really intelligent and insightful. Also, if I get 50,000 subscribers, I'll not only be revealing my ugly mug, but I'll also play through Dying Light 2 without weapons. Normally, I hate begging for subscribers because it feels stupid and cheap, but these kinds of videos take a good while to make, and I want to be certain that I'll have a dedicated following willing to watch that video, especially since Dying Light 2 is kind of a hated game by the larger community. Yeah, that's about it. Thanks for your attention. Also 100k subs and I'll wear a maid outfit. Now, with my comments on the previous chimeras, you may think that I hate this one, but that's where you're wrong. I actually found this fight kind of fun and engaging. Unlike the other fights where you had to wait until the boss felt like letting you hit it, this one actually lets you choose when you want to attack it. By using the UV flashlight, you can pull him out of the invisibility state and 1v1 him, although I have to admit, it takes some getting used to understand his attack pattern. But my favorite part about this fight is the fact that it's just me, him, and the sounding rod Olivia gave me earlier. Ooh, drugs. Yoink. I entered into the main facility of the Planned Parenthood and made sure to collect enough stem cell samples. However, I was spotted and needed to make a break for it. I made my way back to the Goon Cave and handed the samples off to Lydia, but I couldn't linger around for too long because Olivia found another homeless man for me to beat up. Following the coordinates she sent, I found myself in Chernobyl, where I got lost for like 20 minutes. Hey guys, I'm back. And apparently you're supposed to jump into this easily missable broken grate in the floor. Once I was inside, I encountered the weakest man in Russia. This 10-foot testosterone-filled hulking behemoth was the last homeless man I needed to beat up before my fent levels were fully maxed. Equipped with basically the same abilities as a demolisher, this chimera is everything I expected from my final battle. Fun fact, but if you manage to get him to run into the toxic goo barrels, you can hit him for more damage. Combine this with beast mode and you'll be ripping him apart, much like the child in my basement. After collecting all the Infentity stones, I needed to meet back up with Dr. Camilo, who needed me to do him a favor.
Crane, the actions of my past are catching up to me. I need you to get my passport.
What?
I need my passport so I can meet back up with my friend in Argentina.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ask. Where is it?
It's inside the mental hospital filled with zombies.
Of course it is.
Don't worry though. The crack addict can pacify the infected with her telepathy powers.
This plot hasn't jumped the shark. It fucking killed it. After entering Section 8 housing, I had to make sure I didn't touch the people here, a practice our grandparents used to follow. Because touching them would draw all of their aggression. Hey, buddy. Long day, right? I was then able to grab the employee ID card and make it into the storage room wing, but the door was super locked. Hey, buddy, you need a hand? Once I got inside, I collected the doctor's passport and made a break for it, narrowly surviving the chase by jumping into some water. When I dropped off the passport, I was alerted by Jacob that dragons have invaded Dave and Buster, so I need to make my way to the town hall as soon as possible.
Hey, Crane. Good news. I'm no longer evil.
Does this mean you're no longer racist?
One thing at a time now.
This encounter was a little annoying. You see, I had to take out all of these soldiers and cut off the vape pen with a timer. I found out that I can sneak up on this gunman on top of the tarp and take him down for an easy kill. However, I immediately get spotted, so there's not much to do from here except unplug the gas. After dying a handful of times, I realized it was time for Plan B. I could actually run away from this encounter, so after disconnecting the gas, I did just that. I went back to beating up the homeless and filled up my beast mode bar, which allowed me to easily clear out the remaining enemies.
It's a gender reveal party, Crane.
What gender is red?
Sheriff, I don't think that's what that means. I needed to stop the Baron's men from lobbing gas at us through mortar cannons. Luckily, I had 7 minutes to sneak around and take out the Baron's men one by one, taking every last second to carefully plan out every move before executing it. Ah, shit, there's 2 more. Okay guys, time to panic. Using beast mode, I easily cleared out the second patrol, and all that was left was 1 more. Yeah, should have seen that one coming. Yeah, you all know how this goes. Now that that's done, I needed to remove the smoke grenades from the main plaza before more zombies showed up. Hey guys, it's my new and original OC. You've never seen him before, and he's super unique. Please don't steal. Yeah, this is just the behemoth. He literally has the same moveset and attack pattern as the last time you fought him. Man, I'm sure glad that's over with. Oh, you've got to be fucking kidding me. After giving this chimera some incredible head, his friend said, "Nah, I'm good," and peaced the fuck out of there.
Crane, I just killed my wife and fled the scene. I need you to take my Ford Bronco and cruise around on Interstate 405.
After becoming a drunk crasher, I was now face to face with Mr. Beast himself. Remember him? Yeah, he's like the whole fucking point of this game. I know we jingled so many keys
Peter,
in your
what are
face
you
that you
doing?
forgot, but it's time for you to remember, because here he is. Oh shit, I killed Mr. Beast. Hey everyone, welcome to the end of the game. We started this journey as a loser with no friends, and now look at me, a drug addict with 4 friends. And together, we're gonna break into someone's house and kill them through the power of friendship. I started by crawling through the secret tunnels underneath the Denver International Airport, which are used by the world elites to congregate and discuss which girl the Rothschild will personally send to be interested in you. After making my way up, I got to play some Hitman as I needed to sneak around and kill 4 specific snipers posted on the castle walls. Once I finished that, I could leave the gate open and allow for the fall of Constantinople. You might think that this next section would be difficult, since I'm literally in an entire war zone. But after failing to kill the Baron's men a few times, I found out you can just run around and hide and wait for your friends to kill everyone for you. Now, all I have to do is sneak behind the last remaining soldier and perform a takedown, taking all the credit for our success. Following the Baron led me into another encounter with his men. Now, I don't want to take too long discussing the multiple combat encounters at this point in the game because they're not really interesting. And it doesn't make for good content to watch me just die over and over again, unless you're into that. But I want to share what happened in this encounter because I actually clutched the fuck up. I found that by dropkicking the Baron's men onto this couch, it instantly kills them. So I managed to take out the first 3 melee fighters this way. Then, I climbed up to the 2nd floor and waited for this next soldier to round the corner. Obviously, we drop him down and turn his head from convex into concaved. After that, I ran right up to these gunmen and managed to take one out before going into beast mode and killing the other gunman, as well as this big guy with a sledgehammer. Unfortunately, my beast mode depleted while there was only 1 guy left. Not wanting to end up like a dog at Waco, I'd need to be extremely careful when handling this opponent. I ran in and drop kicked him while also throwing some punches, but then I'd run and hide behind the corner to make sure he couldn't shoot me. This movement was honestly pretty tense, since I'd been stuck on this encounter for around 20 minutes at this point. Luckily, I was able to kill him and move on. Next up on my list was to steal a car and survive the Mont Blanc tunnel fire. Unfortunately, there was no light at the end of this tunnel, just a really annoying combat encounter. After waiting for bro to yap, he'd release a chimera. I think we all know how this goes. Alright, what's next? Oh, another chimera. Okay then. Hey guys, did you know that when you die on the 2nd chimera, you have to restart from the 1st chimera? Yeah, I didn't know that either, and let's just say I wasn't too thrilled to find out. You guys know it's funnier than 1 chimera? How about 2? Yeah, this fight is really fun and engaging. But you know what would be funnier than 2 chimeras? Let's try 3. I don't even know what's happening anymore. And please don't ask me how I survived this. I can't tell you either. Moving on, we have a few fights with some soldiers. As I said, I don't want to linger on these for very long since it was mostly just rolling RNG until I killed them all, so it doesn't exactly make for interesting content. After all of that, we make it to this room where Olivia closes the door and we learn that she is actually evil now, or something. Oh man, my ass burns.
Oh good, you're all awake.
What the hell is all of this?
Would you relax, Crane? I invited all of you here originally to celebrate our success and accomplishments. We placed hidden video cameras around to capture your each and every move for our latest video idea, Last Attic Standing Wins. But now you've up and killed Mr. Beast. So now I have no video, no more revenue stream, and you've just lost yourself a lifetime supply of vent.
So all of this was a lie? Even that girl Olivia set me up with? She was with you?
Oh no, Crane, you fucking murdered that girl. But now that you all ruined my source of revenue, I guess I have to kill you now. Starting with the black guy, for no discernible reason. Now for you, Dr. Camilo.
Alright, I've decided I'm a good guy again.
Wow, does anybody here appreciate me?
I appreciate you.
Shut up.
Kyle, I'm sorry. I was always on your side. I only waited till now to do something because I didn't know that guy. And Dr. Camilo made me uncomfortable.
I don't blame you. After being freed by Olivia, it was time for the final battle. My strategy here was to mostly just hide and wait for Aiden to kill the Baron's men, so not really that engaging to watch. After many attempts, I finally managed to get the Baron low, and there was actually a good chance of winning. I got in a few good punches, maybe a drop kick or two, and with one last use of beast mode, I could officially end the fight.
I'm tired of these limp dick lawyers and chicken shit bureaucrats.
What?
We're making the mother of all omelets here, Crane. You can't fret over every egg.
What the f*** are you talking about?
Nanomachines, son. They harden in response to physical trauma.
Now I'm fighting Senator Armstrong from hit game Metal Gear Rising Revengeance. The Baron's attack pattern isn't really that complicated or special, but he does hit pretty hard. I didn't realize he was going to go Super Saiyan prior to this fight, so I used up literally all my meds in the last fight. So now I have to rely on this one med kit and beast mode to heal me. Because of this lack of medical supplies, I got really familiar with dodging his attacks. However, his biggest weakness comes from the fact that he'll just take moments to, stand there and take 4 to 5 punches. So all I have to do now is dodge his attacks and successfully land my free hits whenever I can. Wait, this is my one chance to say something cool. Told you I'd kill you! I'd like to thank SomethingSpooky, NightStriker78, Anarchy, UberChris, Andy, and FoxRocket for providing their voices as characters in this video. You can check out their socials in the description. I'd also like to thank Megan X for her support as a Super Money Hole Plus member, especially since I haven't been as active as I'd like to these past few months. I hope the Money Hole lives up to its name as a worthwhile investment. Remember kids, all content shown in this video is satire and is not a reflection on Q or anyone associated with this video, nor am I encouraging any behaviors displayed in this video. Don't do drugs and stay in school.